Hi guys, this video is for King of the Stars. Hi, I just saw your help video and I noticed in your comments that you said you had the problem solved, but I figured I wanted to give you some information just so that you would have it for future reference. Because it's good to know just how to handle these things in general, especially if you're practicing the craft and you're opening yourself up to the spiritual realm. You want to know how to deal with the different type of entities that exist in that realm. Okay, so you said that you were having a problem with a demon at one point. Just in general, in the spiritual realm, no matter what you believe in, whether you believe in demons or not, there are two types of energies that exist. There's organic energy and then there's inorganic energy. So organic energy is someone who was once living in the physical realm and has passed on into the spiritual realm. They have died. So whether it's an animal or whether it's a person, they were living once in this realm and then when they passed on, they died. So it's kind of the same concept when you think of like organic food and it being a natural living thing. And then the inorganic energy was never a person. It's a collection of energy that exists and it basically feeds off of other living beings' energies. So it was never a person, but it does have an intelligence, okay? And usually when people report seeing things like demons or things of that nature, they usually are inorganic energies. And the thing with an inorganic energy is that it can shapeshift. Oh, my cat, sorry. It can take the form of whatever. I'm sorry, just give me 1 minute. Down, making a video. Oops. Okay. It can take the form of whatever it is that evokes an emotion in you. So, if they obviously the energy, they're in the spiritual realm, they can know things. So if they know that you're in love with angels, they will take a form of an angel because they know that it will evoke a feeling in you. And whatever feeling you get, they feed off of that energy from the emotion. So if it knows that you are fear demons or something like demons are an interest stuff into you, it can take the form of a demon, whatever demon that you know of, or whatever demon is in your mind, or whatever demon has had the most effect on other people that this entity has come into place with, and it will appear as that to you, and then it will feed off of whatever energy you give it when it takes that form. And the more energy you give it, the more it will appear to you, and the more that it will come around basically for supper to feed off your energy. These are also a lot of the same type of beings that can steal your soul. When you're working, organic energies kind of have that same ability too. The people, who spirits that were once in the living realm and then passed on into the spiritual realm, but they do it in a bit of a different way. They have feelings. So usually when a person sticks around here and they don't want to move on, like, whether you believe in heaven or Summerland or whatever you believe in, like they don't want to move on, so they stick around here in the physical realm. They might do things like appear to you or play around with you. Sometimes they're upset and they're bitter because maybe the situation in which they died is tragic, so they don't want to move on. So they'll stay here, and if they have an intelligence still and are aware of their surroundings, they will interact with the people in their surroundings. And if you have energy blockages in your body, it makes it easier for them to latch on to you. So that's also another way you get possessions, because they will latch on to a person if they have an energy blockage or any weakness in their spiritual body. And a lot of that comes from, not meditating or just being off balance and imbalance in your spiritual body. So if they see that it's like a tear in your spiritual body, and it becomes easier for them to latch on to that person. or just somebody who just is knowledgeable about this stuff in general, and they can just latch onto that person easier. Um, and then a malpossession can occur, um, and they do that because they miss being alive. So they miss, having the five senses of a human being. So it's like our body is like a playing field for them, and they can experience all the joys of life again. So it sounds like what you're dealing with, because it's shape shifting into a certain form, is an inorganic entity. And the way that you would deal with these entities in general is, one, don't be afraid, remain neutral. Because their purpose is to feed off of your energy. So if they can provoke a certain emotion in you by manifesting in a certain way, whether it be as an angel or a demon or whatever it is that would manifest an emotion in you so that they can feed, you have to not give them that. You have to, don't become angry either. Don't become afraid. Don't become happy. Don't become anything. You stay neutral. And then whatever deity it is you believe in, you banish them. And you call upon that deity's name, and you say, you leave now. And you banish them using that deity's name, using the power of the deity that is within you. And if you do that, it can help banish and get rid of the entities. You stay your ground. Even if it starts to make things shake or knock things down, you hold on to that warrior spirit that's inside of you, that's inside of everyone, and just tell it to leave. If you believe, for me it would be, in the name of Isis, or in the name of Horus and Osiris, in the name of my ancestors, whoever it is you believe in, I banish you. Leave now. Leave this home. You are not welcome here. Don't, and remain neutral when you say it. You can still have power and strength within you, but just don't let it evoke any scared or any negative, emotions within your body. I have a book here, Seeing in the Dark by Colleen Dietzman and Paul Bowersox. And it's a shamanic book about shamanic workings, and I just want to read a little bit of it to you so that you can kind of get an understanding of what to do really when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. Hopefully this video won't be too long, but I'll try to be quick, okay? Okay. So when he's in this book, he's talking about journeying into the spiritual, because that's one thing that the shamans do, is they journey into the spiritual. You can journey, and you can, it's kind of like astral projection, but into the spiritual. And you can meet your spirit guides there, and you can also meet your ancestors there and get answers about life and things like that. But in the spiritual realm, there are different spirits that exist in that realm. So they talk about what would happen if you come in contact with those spirits. So this is helpful to you too, because obviously you're in the physical realm, and the spirits are in the physical realm and making contact with you. So it would be pretty much the same method that you would use. Okay, so organic spirits are considered unhelpful, because unhelpful are nearly always the spirits of the dead who have not crossed over. Some of these spirits are suffering terribly. They exist on this plane because they were compelled to stay for various reasons. Perhaps they were murdered or committed suicide. Perhaps they did something which they could not forgive themselves. Something they are in such pain they cannot rest. They can become violent or attempt to possess living human beings. They attach themselves to the living in order to assuage their torment. They find out their misery to find a way out of their misery, or to tell their own story. Others that have refused to cross over are just unpleasant. Many of these spirits manifest the same traits dead as they did when they were alive. They are angry and bitter in life. They remain angry and bitter in death. If they were violent or abusive in the flesh, they are likely to be just as vile and out of it. They cannot hurt unless we allow them a way to influence us. But they are unerringly honest, and as are the helping spirits of the three worlds. Okay. They are serving their own agendas, and as such will deceive those who interact with them in pursuit of their desires. I'm not very sure if they can change forms, but I don't think so. But they can still interact with you in a negative way, to get certain things out of you as well. They can also feed off of your energy. But again, from what you said, it sounds like you were dealing with an inorganic because it was shifting shapes. And that is a trait of an inorganic energy, not one who was once living in this physical realm. Um, it is very common for the malicious spirits of the dead that have not crossed over to attach themselves, possess, or piggyback the living. When this happens, it is usually the product of some imbalance or energy leakage in a living person. When a living person has experienced a trauma or is leaking energy, they appear cracked or visible to chaotic spirits, like a predator following a blood trail. These spirits find and attach themselves to the living. Once possessed in this way, the living person can manifest all kinds of symptoms. Substance abuse, from mild to ranging addiction, is a common symptom. The individual also frequently experiences the onset of mental illness, mild neurosis to full-blown delusional schizophrenia have been attributed to attachments or possessions by the spirits of malicious or tormented individuals who would not cross over. Okay, let me just skip some of this. Okay. The other group of unhelpful spirits is called inorganics. Basically, these spirits are residents of this plane, in the residents of this plane, but have never been alive in the conventional sense. So they do have an intelligence and they are aware, but they have never been alive in a human's body form. Some are simple creatures called larvae and are energy leeches that can attach themselves to the living, bleeding off their energy or perhaps soaking up energy that may already be leaking from the person. Others are more complicated. They are self-determined in their own right and are chameleons, reflecting the belief and demeanor of those they encounter. If a fearful person encounters them, these inorganics will appear as exactly what that person fears. Entities perceived in demon sightings are most certainly these inorganic appearings, exactly as what they are expected to be. Big, scary, and powerful. Oddly enough, the beings perceived in many angel sightings are inorganic as well. These observers obviously have joy and love in their hearts, so the inorganics reflect that back. It is important to note, however, that both of these inorganics use the encounter to feed off the emotions and energy of the living. Fear or joy makes no difference to them. They are hungry for the energy. Properly engaged, all inorganics can be, sorry, you don't want that part. Now, I want to skip over to the part where he tells you what to do when you encounter them. Because they say inorganics can be unpredictable and even dangerous. Obviously, your soul, your spirit is a form of energy. So if they can latch on and feed on off of it, they can also take control over it if you're not strong enough or if you don't know what to do when you are handling them. That's why it's also good not to provoke. Really, if you can, I'm going to say you would want to take your sage and clean your house out with sage. You know, say that thing, say I banish you, and then just ignore it and remain neutral. Do not provoke or do anything like this. Like that. That would also raise the energy that they can feed off of and become stronger. The truth is, the reason these spirits, whether organic or inorganic, are less. Sorry, I just want to get to the right part. Okay. The truth is, the reason these spirits, whether organic or inorganic, are less than helpful is largely because the people who interact with them are not careful enough or not prepared well enough to take responsibility for the course the interaction takes. Myth, legend, folk tales about such entities, demons, genies, the undead, the Siddhi, and all manner of unfriendly creatures pepper such tales. The moral of all these stories is that when you interact with spirits of this type, you need to be careful and prepared. because we are more interested in preparing and protecting our readers than teaching mastery over the middle world. That's something else that the book discusses. But the following could be looked at as a general guidelines for interacting with these spirits. First thing to do is to be careful. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But speaking with middle world spirits, these spirits cannot hurt you unless you allow them to, plain and simple. If something does not feel right, or you know you are being lied to, command them in the name of whatever higher authority you believe in to leave. It is important that you command them with authority through belief. So when you say, leave here now, you mean it. And leave here now, you know from the power within yourself that they will leave. I'll just say it again. It is important that you command them with authority through belief. Don't say, leave here now, and you still think that they're there, or it didn't work, or you weren't strong, or they're stronger than you. That is not going to work. Just know that you are protected. Your ancestors protect you. Your deity protects you. And that they will protect you, and they speak through you. So when you say, leave here now, that voice, your voice, is their voice, and it will leave. Okay, you can't rely on what you don't believe in. For instance, if you are a God-fearing Christian believing that Jesus Christ is your personal Savior, then you will be able to dismiss any spirit just by commanding it to leave in His name. If you are a devotee of Morrigan in the Wiccan tradition, and you try to banish spirits using the name of Christ, it just won't work. Stick with what you believe in. If you are a true believer, the Morrigan will do the trick. No matter what, stay neutral. Don't be full of fear. Don't try to radiate love and kindness. Just stay neutral. Faced with your neutrality, the beings are likely to appear as they are, rather than as you would make them. So, if they see, this person's scared of demons, or this, maybe they did something, and the first thing you thought was, oh my God, is this a demon? Because it did something bad. So then they know, because they can read your thought pattern, because your thought is an energy, that, oh, this person fears demons. So the next time I come around, I'm going to manifest in the form of a demon. Boom. Big, scary demon. Boom. And then they scare you, and then they get your energy, and they feed off of you. And they can feed up to the point where you don't exist anymore. They can completely take over you. So, that is why they say to stay neutral. If you stay neutral, you don't give them that thought, they have nothing to use against you. They don't know what you fear, they don't know what you like, they just know that you're neutral. So they will appear in their normal form. So faced with your neutrality, the beings are likely to appear as they are, rather than as you would make them. Inorganics may seem creepy because there are different forms, but they are just being what they are. So this is actually if you're seeing it. So you're seeing that, you're seeing it, so it might change its appearance. Or it might just wither back into just being a presence that you feel, but then, not come around as a demon. When you tell it to leave, it'll just leave completely and go. Most likely in your situation, it would just, if it came back, it would just go, because, you don't, you're going to banish it. He's talking about if you see it while you're traveling into the spiritual realm, and you come in contact with it, kind of thing. But in your situation, you're still staying neutral, but you're just banishing this thing from out of your home, from off of your quarters, okay? Yeah. That's pretty much it. If they say also, if you feel that it has attached onto you, or is feeding off of you, then also to clean into your own energy body using methods to clean you. It says, remember this thing. When it comes to organic or inorganic spirits, remember one thing. You are the one in the body. You are the one who is fully alive, fully incarnated, and fully in control. No spirit entity can assail your sovereign humanity. If anything tries, now you have the tools to deal with it. You have an edge, basically. You have a power over it, because you have a spirit and you have a body, where you can utilize both things. So you asked about crystals. smoky quartz. Smoky quartz gets rid of all negative energy. I'm getting amethyst right now. Amethyst is protective, and it also keeps you connected to your spirituality, and it can keep you safe. Opal is good for dealing with spirits as well, and black opal. What else? If you want to feel happy and love and kind of get rid of any of that bad energy, rose quartz. But it's just for banishing in general, whether you, smoky quartz is good. Sage is definitely good to have. And if you can have sweet gas to burn with the sage, that is good as well. Because once you burn the sage and get rid of any of the negative energy, then you'll have the sweet grass to bring in all of the positive energy. Let's see, I don't think I'm missing anything there. So you can also burn frankincense and myrrh for protective incense, to protect your home after you've cleansed it out. You know, if you make holy water, sprinkle it around. But do all these things after, you say, I call upon the inner, and you can call it by its name, because they say when you know an entity what it is, you have control over it. You're basically saying, I know what you are, you're not fooling me, I have control over you, you don't scare me. So I call upon an inorganic entity in my home that has been manifesting onto me. Leave my home now. I banish you. Have your sage, go around your home and say it with power, and say it with the spirit that is within you, the spirit that has the abilities to banish these things. And I've done banishings before, so I know, that it does work. You can just use sage. You can use your athame if you have one while you're doing it, because athame attracts and banishes energy. If you have to cast a circle in your home while you're doing it, and you can stay inside of the circle because inside the circle the spirit won't be able to touch you because you will feel safe, and you can banish that spirit from inside of your circle. Just make sure that you stay in the circle and stay on your feet while you are banishing the spirit, and just have the power and strength in your heart. So I hope that this video is not too long, and also that it helps you some. If you have any questions, you can send me a message. Okay, hope this helps. Bye.